being the fastest quarterback you've never seen. I'll be right back. There's no quicker way to get into DFS. Play Super Draft today and see for yourself.
We're behind. They're all fired up. What we got to do? First place, our defense has got to go out there and take the ball. Then when we get the ball, we got to have 11 people that's going to do their job and try to score every time you get the football. If we do that, we'll be all right. That will be all right.
Welcome to Prime Time of Rolling with the Tide. You have the Four Horsemen of the Alabama. Right now, let me bring on our horseman right now, our number one, which is our president and historian, Waylon. How's it going, Waylon?
Cheers, everybody. Cheers.
Cheers, sir. And our second horseman for the night is our take no bullshit man. Roll Tide and rise up. How's it going, rise up?
Yeah, roll Tide, you guys. It's going great. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide, sir. And our fourth horseman coming up in here would be our number one Alabama trucker. It would be William Bryant. How's it going, William?
Doing great, man. Doing great.
Good to see y'all. And before we get this show started, we do have a special guest on tonight that wants to give us a little update on her adventures. But before we get to that, we need to dedicate the show. So if y'all don't mind, we're going to go into our dedication for tonight. It is my great honor to dedicate tonight's show to Dr. Mary K. Watson, named Civil Engineer Educator of the Year. The Citadel School of Engineering professor continues leading in her field. A woman who began making her mark in the engineering industry almost as soon as she joined the Citadel in 2013, Mary K. Watson, PhD by now, is now the 2022 recipient of the Civil Engineering Educator of the Year Award. And for your dedication, Mary K. Watson, and for all the students and everyone's life that you affect, I salute you. Now let me bring everybody back on real quick. Now, before we get started, we have a diehard, true bleeding red Georgia fan who loves Georgia more than anything in this world. Don't really like us that well at all, but as people, she loves us. Let's bring on the dog girl, Vicki. Hey, Vicki, how's it going, girl? Give us the update on how to go.
All right, it's amazing, guys. I took 21 families $150 Walmart gift card, and I had money to buy many $10 Walmart gift cards for the teenagers of the siblings, plus gave those 85 brand new toys. So it was amazing. If we're friends, guys, please add me so that you can read my story. I ran into the grandmother of one of the little girls that died accidentally at the memorial, and she gave me a crucifix that the little girl had made over spring break. And it was amazing. So add me to your Facebook, please, because you're never going to see this again. This will never happen.
We will not. But you are.
I guess wait a minute, it's getting stuck in my throat. I know I'm supposed to say something like,
Go ahead and bring it, girl. Go ahead and bring it. Don't let it freeze up now. Come on now. Go ahead and say it.
Full Tide.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead and take it off. Go ahead and take it off. Yes, ma'am.
Hey, honestly, I would have never been able to do it without you. And I really, really appreciate it. And so do those families. It was
And Vicki, for everything that you did for these families, without God levy on it, I'm going to do this for you. Go Dogs.
Atta baby.
That's for you, baby. That's for you and everything you did.
Thank you.
All right, baby girl. Thank you so much, and thank you for everything. We love you. Let us know if we can help you and do anything else, honey.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Take a shower.
Oh, fellas, we have a dog fan in the house, Mr. King Brian.
Hold on a minute now. I got to put the chat back up here. Hold up. All right, sorry, y'all. I mean, we got all up in here. Let me start breaking this down here. What we got here? We got Roll Tide Rise Up. We know you. All right, what we got? Cajun, what's she going on? Can't see Miss Vicki. Well, you need to tune. Oh, she can now. Where's the dog at? Oh, no. Oh,
Hey, Jim.
Hey, we got him in the house. All right.
Good to see you, brother. I'm going to leave
King
you up
Brian, 25.
a little bit.
Go ahead.
Waylon's got something for y'all tonight. Before we get going, before we get into the segment, y'all got to give me a little patience here. I'm going to read off. Things kind of changed towards the end here tonight. So basically tonight, before we get started, I'm going to get started with Waylon, but I want to bring to everybody's attention, especially King Brian 25. I don't know if he's heard yet. I really don't know if he's heard. But the number one player, Juco player, and the number one wide receiver, Juco player, out here right now, Malik Benson, 6'1", 185 pounds, has committed to our University of Alabama.
Yeah, that's right, baby.
Not Georgia. King Brian, not Georgia. Just let you know. This speedster. We have another speedster. I don't know, King Brian, I don't know how many defensive back you got that can even come close to a 10-4-4-100. I don't think any of them. We're coming, brother. We're coming. I just hope, I just pray and hope you can make it to the SEC championship. I don't think you will. I think you're going 9-3, but I'm just saying, brother, we got them. All right. Yeah. Waylon, over to you, man. I got to start putting these comments up here. It's up to you, man. You got the first segment. Go ahead.
How many dog fans we got in here tonight? Just one?
Well, right now, just one. King Bryant, but he's a good one, though. King Bryant.
I'll let
You
him.
got them dogs.
I'll let him go. I'm waiting
He's a
on.
respectful dog.
I'm waiting on hockey and
That's
Duke.
good.
I can get a hold.
They'll be here.
Yeah.
They'll be here.
Wait
Go ahead
a
with your
minute on
segment.
Nick
They'll be
Saban.
here.
Yeah,
Nick Saban, yes, sir.
it's his only Nick Satan to get right here out of me.
And don't forget, he had 43 receptions for more than 1,200 yards
That's right.
That is true. That is true.
in his junior season there. Yeah.
Well, I just didn't want to spank them all at one time. Just just a little, just a little bit there.
What I wanted to bring up tonight, I'll make it quick. I've been hearing people talk about Brian Harsin and the situation that Auburn's in, and we look back on last year's football game, and Auburn probably had the lineup maybe of a Division II school, maybe UNA, Jack State, or maybe I don't know UAB, but they played us to 4 overtimes with very little talent. But
Right.
a lot of people are talking about Brian Harsin, and
Brian who?
yeah, Brian Harsin.
Is that the huncher?
Yeah, that's him. He's ranked number 19th, but 24/7 Sports ranks him number 19th in the SEC. But they were talking about the money deal. Harsin, you can look at Brian Harsin and tell he's a man across the board, bottom line.
Mm-hmm.
Gus Malzahn, Coach O, you could put all three of them in the lineup, and Brian Harsin could out-talk, and he's smarter than all of them together. But a lot of people say won't get, the deal that he got. Brian Harsin didn't come to Auburn and bring his family from. Now, he came down there on a 6-year deal with $31.5 million. You got to remember that 6-year deal now, $31.5 million. Now, if they just, if he decides to go to another school and leave, they're going to owe him that money. They'll have to pay 50% up front and then 4 installments after that. Now, if they fire him without cause, it's a different story. But it's Brian Harsin didn't come to Auburn without being able to leave a big check in his pocket, because that's probably what's going to happen
Very good point.
before the Auburn season's over with. And he looked at that stuff, and it's last year Harsin made I think $5 million first year. And his salary was it's supposed to increase $100,000 annually, beginning January the 1st of this year. So within the range from they fired him within the range of November the 27th to December the 31st of 2022. It would be they would owe him $15.3 million if they were to fire him without cause this year. They still owe him $15.3 million. And I heard some guys say, well, he won't get that check. He won't get that money. Well, like I said, once again, Brian Harsin didn't come to Auburn. He's not dumb. He might not be able to win any ball games in Auburn, but he'll leave. He'll do like Gus Malzahn. He'll leave with a big check at Auburn, probably $15-16 million, and here we go again. But I just wanted to address that these coaches are not going to come to these schools anymore unless they got some kind of solid deal.
Waylon, Nick Saban Jr. brings up a good point. He's asking you, do you think they gave Ubben's coach a fair chance from the get-go?
Oh, give Harsin a fair chance from the get-go?
Yes. Do you think they gave him a fair chance from the get-go?
Well, not really. I don't really. I mean, if I was him, I wouldn't like the way they done me. I mean, that little situation they had, claiming he was running around with women. I mean, I don't know. They never did prove anything. They didn't have any hard evidence. They didn't have any pictures. They didn't have any video. If they did, they didn't show it. If they had that kind of evidence on him, then the boosters would have fired him then. I just think, what aided them is this. I had people play at Auburn and Alabama. That Alabama and Auburn game means so much to those boosters that it eat their lunch, because they sit there and watch Auburn take the best team in the country to 4 overtimes, and still couldn't beat them, but was close enough, it's still eating at them. That's what's eating at them. It's that 4 overtime. It's, It's, you know, and I thought they ought to give him praise for the 4 overtimes myself instead of
Yeah.
throwing. I don't
Well,
know.
I mean, truthfully, it was close enough that all them Auburn boosters got a wood. I ain't gonna lie about it. If they was sticking up there, they could probably hang a little bitty flag off of it. But they at least got one. I'm just saying. But anyway, rise up. What do you think, sir? I'm gonna let you take over for a second. Go ahead. What? Rise up. All right, William, rise up's kind of tore up here. Go ahead. What? It's true.
Oh my God. You forgot TVMA, man. You forgot TVMA.
Oh, you're right. My bad. You're right. My bad. Here, I'm sorry. Hold on a second. My bad. Here you go. All right, rise up. It's your turn now. My bad. Go ahead.
Yeah.
It's up there. Go for it.
Now, am I going in mine or am I commenting on?
No. Go ahead and talk about this one.
Okay.
You wanna
I
talk
agree with
about the little
you guys
flagpole? Go ahead.
100% on that. I really think he came in with a bad deal. I mean, whoever went into that coaching job went into a clusterfuck, you know, to be honest with you. It was just a mess. And unless you had a magic wand to make that season turn around and, you know, and be successful, it doesn't matter who the coach was, Brian Harsin, or it really doesn't matter. So he kind of went into a bad situation. You got a raw deal. Like Waylon said, they accused this man of all these things, and they didn't come and show any kind of proof of what they said or alleged that he did. And you know, I know it has a sour taste in his mouth. It has a sour taste in his wife's mouth, and you know, in his family. So, you know, do you want to stick around after that? After that happened to me, I don't really, you know, I don't know what to do here because I don't trust the people after that fact. No, I don't have much faith in you. So that's my take on it.
Well, tell them the truth now, man. Go ahead. But if it happened to you, at least they could put a bigger flag on it. All right, William, what you got, man? What you got to say on this one?
Well, I mean, something must have been really happened because it caused old Bo Nix to leave quarterback. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
You know what the good thing is about Bo Nix?
What?
Georgia gets to face him their first game.
Yeah.
Seriously, he's with the Ducks now, and that's who they play their first game.
Exactly. His daddy.
It's awesome.
His daddy knew exactly where to send him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nike money.
Yeah. He sure did.
All right, rise up. Let's go with your segment, sir. What you got going on here?
I want to talk a little bit about this whole realignment conversation that has come back up since UCLA and USC has talked about joining the Big Ten. So now we have now we have all these different scenarios going on about what's going to happen. 2 super conferences, the Big Ten and the SEC, and whatever the case may be. But I was looking at YouTube and I saw an interesting video yesterday, and the guy had kind of put together the SEC realignment, and the additions to the SEC were quite. A few of them was like, I don't know, I don't see a fit in the SEC. Now he had Florida State, Clemson, and Miami. Those 3 I see. If it was to happen, I could see those 3 joining the SEC. But he also had University of North Carolina, Virginia Tech, Virginia. I don't see that. Louisville, I don't see that. And he had West Virginia. Okay, I don't see West Virginia. In his, he had pod. He didn't really call them pods, but let's say pods for lack of a better term, divisions within the SEC and how he grouped them. He said he would have the Western Division would be Texas, Mizzou, Arkansas, Texas A&M, Oklahoma, and LSU. He said Central. In the Central Division, he had Alabama, Auburn, Tennessee, Vandy, Mississippi State, and Ole Miss. In the Southern Division, I don't know how you get the Southern Division, but he had Florida, South Carolina, Florida State, Miami, Clemson, and Georgia. And then he added what he called the Appalachian Division, which would be now this guy's a West Virginia fan, so
Okay, is that like me, a hillbilly? Are they calling me an Appalachian now? Before I was just a hillbilly. Now I'm an isolation old man. That's awesome. Go ahead, man. I'm curious.
So in the Appalachian Division, he had Kentucky, Virginia, Virginia Tech, Louisville, UNC, and West Virginia. And I was thinking about that. Now, I don't see Louisville, West Virginia. I don't see UNC coming to the SEC. If they did, I mean, it'd be a good have because of their heritage there. University of North Carolina.
Okay.
The Tar Heels.
They should.
Their program is picking up football, and they're great in basketball. Right. But I don't know. I don't see them coming. But, who knows? Who knows? But I was thinking, I'm like, okay, well, if that were to happen, where did that leave the ACC? Where Georgia Tech? All the other schools. What about Georgia, the Pac-12? Where would that leave those schools? I mean, at some point, someone is going to have to do something. If we're acquiring, that'll be 24 teams, if I'm not mistaken. So if we acquire 24 teams, the Big Ten acquire around the same amount. Pac-12, not the Pac-12, excuse me, the Big 12 is talking about acquiring more people. The Pac-12 and the ACC is kind of being eaten up in all of this. So what do you guys think about this? I don't know what's going to happen in the future, but what do you think?
Jones has got a couple good questions for you. What do you think about Clemson? He says Clemson should come over to us.
I think Clemson, Miami, and Florida State will be the three that I see if they were to come to the SEC would come first.
That was his second one.
So I see those three schools.
That's a herd.
Like I said, Louisville, I don't see. West Virginia, I don't see. I just don't see
West
them.
Virginia.
Regionally, it's Southeast, but I don't see it as far as being in the SEC, especially football. It's just,
right.
We're tough, man.
All right, Waylon, go for it, brother. What you got?
I make it short and sweet. When this happens, those two conferences will collapse. They're done. There'll be no Pac-12. There'll be no ACC.
Okay.
I agree with you.
I believe that.
If that happens.
They're done.
William, what do you think?
I believe that too. What are you going to do with Ohio State? They got to go somewhere, though. Where are they going to go?
Ohio State, Big Ten.
Big Ten. Yeah, Big Ten.
Yeah, Ohio State.
They're going to stay where they're at then? Big Ten?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Ohio State not moving.
Linda's in the house. All right. Well, for me, this is for me on this one, y'all. It's much as I hate to say this, but I think they're playing their last card they got in their hand. And pretty much it's a Queen High would be the Notre Dame. Notre Dame already snubbed their nose today to the Big Ten.
Okay.
But I can really understand that because they've already got the other sports out of their college in the ACC. So if they don't go to the ACC, that just kiss ACC goodbye. I'm sorry. We're going to start getting teams in the SEC from them. I mean, seriously, it ain't going to happen. But on the other side of that, should the Pac-12 and the Big 12 just go ahead and suck it up, lick their butts, and go, let's just join together because it's the only chance we're going to get any money whatsoever. Because these two conferences, the Big 10, which ain't going to be Big 20, whatever, the Big 10 and SEC is going to suck the main money out of all of us. So we might as well go ahead and join together so it's not just two super conferences. We can at least break it into four if the ACC can stay together. What do you think, Waylon?
That's what I said before. I mean, it's what's going to happen is they're done. The Pac-12 and the ACC, they're done. If Miami and Clemson comes to the SEC and one more team out of the ACC,
You froze.
they're done.
Yeah, Florida State. Yeah.
All right, rise up. What do you think?
I'm kind of on with the Waylon train here. I just don't see them surviving. You got to look at the ACC outside of Clemson, and if Florida State and Miami can get it turned around as far as get back to building great programs, Clemson has been holding them up for the last 6-7 years now.
Right.
I
agree.
So
You're right.
there's no other strong. I mean, North Carolina is trying to come along, and they've been putting together a strong program. But when it comes to playing other schools, when it comes to playing Georgia's, Alabama's, Ohio State's, and they're not there. They're not there, and they can't hold it. So I see them collapsing. I don't see them sustaining. Pac-12 as well. I think Oregon need to join somebody. I don't know who they need to go to, but Oregon's going to have to get up out of there.
Well, what's so funny is Oregon and Washington both sent a letter to the Big Ten, or petition, to the Big Ten. They wanted to join. And the Big Ten accepted the petition, but they did not accept them in yet, which means it's a big money grab. They're going, okay, we're saying they're here. Where can we get the money? What kind of money? What kind of TV contracts are we going to get if they come on board? So they have not accepted them yet, but they did accept their petition. So that is getting a little interesting on that perspective on that. But let me throw a little monkey wrench in this to y'all. Y'all don't mind. Unless, William, you got something you wanted to bring on top of this conversation?
No, just go ahead. That's good.
What would y'all think about Pitt coming to the SEC? Pitt is the number one research college, one of the number one research colleges out there. And y'all have to admit, over the past 5 years, they've been improving their football and sports. They are a hell of a lot better than Vandy. Hell of a lot better than Vandy.
Yeah, I give you
So
that.
what
They are.
would y'all think if we offered them to come in? And this going to lead up to another question to y'all.
Sounds interesting.
With the AAU,
Right.
good look there. I was gonna say regionally, but you can't say that anymore because you got UCLA and USC, which is in California, playing, against Rutgers, which is in New Jersey. So Man, I don't know, man.
Well, look
I
at
haven't
Big
really
Ten.
looked at them.
Look at Big Ten. You're going from California. They just brought on 2 California teams that's going to have to play in the snow when they're still 90 degrees over there.
Yeah,
How do you
that's
think
true.
they're going to adjust?
Hey, I mean, that's a lot of travel. That's a lot of travel. A lot of
That's why we
they can
travel,
afford
yes.
it. I don't know. I haven't really looked at Pitt that much. Like you said, they have been getting better, but they've never been on my radar. So
I've got to throw this up here, much as I hate to, but A.J. Jones says Dabo will be the next Saban.
He's right.
Everybody on my panel besides me, A.J. agrees with you.
He's right.
I don't. I don't think the man has the balls enough to make changes when he needs to. I don't. I really and truly don't. Now, I do love Dabo. Don't get me wrong. I love a little dab here, a little bow there. But anyway.
Spencer, put it this way.
Yes.
With the way Clemson has been football, traditionally, with what Dabo has done for Clemson, he has the keys to the kingdom. So they're not going to force him. They don't want him to do anything. If he comes to the interview at BAMA,
he's high.
They're gonna let him know up front. Listen, this is what it is. This is what we expect. You're gonna have to do this. You're gonna have to do this. Now you can take it or leave it, but it's not gonna be his situation at Clemson. We respect what you did there, but look what you're coming to.
I have a lot of respect for it. Yes.
He's gonna come. He's gonna have to change them ways, or you can go ahead on.
That is true.
But I think he's gonna be like, hey, like it's home. It's home, man.
Well, it is home for him.
Yeah.
William, you want to bring anything on this one?
Yeah, it's home, and like I said, Alabama's got a tradition of championships, and that's what it's going to come down to. He's going to have to come through for us.
Hey, you got to remember, he beat Nick Saban twice.
That is true. He did. Yes, he did. Linda Williams brings up on the comment section, no one will do what Saban has done, not for a very long time. Well, that's what they said about the Bear, too. And I love the Bear. I am a diehard Bear. If I was in my house, you'd see his picture behind me. But Nick Saban did it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it is what it is. And then, so we got right here, we got AJ, Mama will call and he will come home. I don't know. I really don't. I
believe he'll come home.
He's built that up there. He's brought Clemson from mediocre to being in the conversation every year. I don't know he will, because now I think he's built a new home. That's just me. I could be wrong.
They won't be in the conversation when the ACC collapse. You're gonna have two super conferences for us all over with after 2025. They can't do nothing after 2025. Everything is still locked the way it is to 2025. Nothing can change. The playoff can't change. But when Dabo sees the ACC's gone, the Pac-12's gone, he gets a chance to come to Alabama. Why, he'll be beating the door down to get it.
Well, Nick Saban Jr. brings up, what about the teams like Memphis, UAB, etc., going to the ACC? Did UAB not just commit to the Big 12? Am I right on that?
I don't know.
I don't know. I haven't heard.
I think it's Big 12.
I think they committed. So I can't remember. I don't know. I guess they did. I think so.
Well, Nick Saban Jr., thank you. I had to research that. I apologize. I don't have all the answers to that one, but that does bring me up to a topic that I really like to ask y'all gentlemen about. Much as I hate to say it, that UAB head coach, his heart, his love, his desire, and his mind brought UAB to a place of recognition nationwide. What do y'all think about him having to step away because of medical conditions?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me,
Got to do what you got.
yeah.
That's like, I don't know. It's you got to do what you got to do. I mean, his back's that bad. I mean, I feel sorry for him. I hope he gets well. I hope he comes. I thought he was a pretty damn good football coach myself.
Junior,
I
what do you think?
They're
me
they're
personally-
SWAC now, ain't they? Isn't UAB SWAC?
No,
Right
they
now?
were.
They just. I think it's Big. I think they went into the Big 12. I think they accepted Big 12. Nick Saban
They
Jr.
accepted
suggested they did.
Yeah, they did.
They accepted the AAC, the
Okay.
American Athletic Conference,
Yeah.
back in October. What I'm reading
Okay.
here, and they were in
Okay.
the Sun Belt,
Something.
USA Conference before.
Right.
So, but going back to the coach, William, you had to get yourself together, man. I mean, coaching it takes a toll on you, and I know it's not big as Alabama, Georgia, or Clemson or anything like that, but you know, you day in, day out, you're out there, and it takes its toll on you. So if anybody needs to get, sit back and get themselves together mentally, physically, I say go for it, because at the end of the day, when everything's said and done, it's you. You can, you didn't work yourself to death, and life still goes on. So you have to take care of yourself.
He's a great man. I have a lot of respect for him. I really and truly do. All right, let's break this over to William. Give me your segment, sir. I'm sorry we went over on you there, brother. But I mean, it got kind of real there. So what you got, my man?
Well, I was just going to hit on what you went on earlier about Malik Benson and go over some of his stats and stuff.
Go for it.
He's a wide receiver from Kansas. He's a second Juco commit for Alabama behind the Justin Jefferson, which is a linebacker from Pearl River, of course. So, he's, like I say, he's had 43 receptions for more than 1,200 yards and 11 touchdowns. So that's pretty good in his junior year there. That's real good.
That's extremely good.
I think he'll do as well. And like you said, you already gave us stats on his PR, 10.44 in the 100-meter dash. So,
and that was in high school.
Yeah. And plus they say he's a good route runner, so he's definitely one that we could definitely use somebody like that.
I mean, think about it. As great as he is, I mean, I watched this film today. What little bit I got. I mean, I even had my phone up in between jobs. I'm watching his film. I'm going, damn. It's like we got a speed demon. Seriously, we have another speed demon. We have a track team now. Only thing we need is a nasty offensive line.
Exactly.
Unstoppable, y'all. I'm telling you right now, if we can do that one thing, this could be the best overall team that we have seen in our lifetime. And that's saying a lot, because I've seen some great defenses. I've seen some great offenses. But if they could put these pieces together, it could be ugly for everybody else. I mean, ugly.
Yeah, look at Cole Adams. He's got a 10, 6, and 5 in the 100-meter.
Right.
Cole
Yes, he
Adams.
does. Yes, he sure does.
Sure does.
I mean,
That's the point. We got speedster. We got a track team out there. All thing we got to do is give Bryce time to read their defenses and throw the ball. He can't do nothing. He can't throw the ball if he's on his back.
Like you said that mean offensive line. You ain't getting past us, mother. You ain't getting past us.
Yeah, we need nasty. We need them.
Nasty.
We need them to go up there and put that floor down. You cannot pass. Period.
That's right.
Yeah. We need the O-line to do what we need to do. We need a great O-line.
Yes.
We also need great play calling. Now, we got to give, and I've been hard on him. I won't lie to you. I've been hard on Coach O. Coach O, I've been hard on the guy, you know. But if you sit back and look at it, he couldn't do a lot of things because of the O-line play, you know. But at the same time, though, he was calling some plays that take too long to develop when you already know your O-line sucks. So why are you calling these plays that take 5-6 minutes to develop? I mean, 5-6 seconds to develop. Yeah, I don't understand.
When you know he ain't got the time.
When you know you don't have the time, you already know the problem you have in your hand. And that's my issue I have going forward. I'm not a coach. Never been. I can't step in O'Brien's shadow. I can't. I'll be the first to admit it. The issue that I have with him, and this is truly my only issue, fellas, it's not last year. It's after the end of last season. He was trying to leave here. He was trying his best to go back to the NFL.
Yeah.
That tells me that you don't want to be here. And the only reason you are here is because you don't have any other option. Nobody hired you. If someone would hire him, we would have a new coordinator.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah.
Or be
we don't need somebody like that.
New coordinator. That's my thing. Now I understand why Saban didn't go ahead and hire someone else. You know, you got this guy been here for a year. He done worked with Bryce for a year. Okay, he's not going to continue the continuity. But I just know a lot of those players in their head like, this man was trying to leave. I would think that if I was there, like, well, do you really
go?
I need someone that's all in. While you here, listen, if you have a plan to come to Alabama, and we see this happening year after year after year after year, if you have a plan to come to Alabama, or any other school for that matter, I don't care who it is. If you have a plan to come there, to build your resume, to go off and be a head coach in the NFL or college, okay, fine. I would never tell anybody, don't try to go be a head coach. You got to stay here. But what I will say is while you're here, stay committed to here. It's hard to stay committed when you're taking interviews and people call. You can't, man. You can't focus on your job at hand when you know that so-and-so's calling you tomorrow, or this person's calling you tomorrow, your agent's telling you this person. You can't stay committed. So there has to be some kind of no-compete clause that we have to come to, you know, like, hey, listen, if you're going to come here, you got to stay at least this amount of time, and you can't go here, there. I don't want to tell a grown man what to do, but at the same time, you leaving us in the middle of the season or a championship game or whatever the case may be. Now we got Steve Sarkisian in calling a game that he wasn't prepared to really call that game. Yeah. He's not all the way in. I just think if he's going to be here, be here. Don't.
I agree with you, brother. I believe with you. I do believe with you. My only problem I got is my wife lets me know where I'm going to be. I'm beside the point. Anyway, Waylon, before I get to you, because I know you got a good input on this one. William, what do you think, brother?
I like that. What AJ said. She said about the Wolfer. Yeah, I think Wolfer's going to make a good one. I mean, but a lot better than the other guy that we had. I mean, Doug Marrone, he just wasn't getting it, man. It's just
he's going to stay.
I'm anxious to see what Wolfer can pull out and everything. What do y'all think about this now? I mean, would you say it was the coaching or the players' fault for the Texas A&M loss?
Both.
Oh, both. I tell you, what I think what Chap Bill O'Brien's asked so bad is he's still calling plays off Lane Kiffin's playbook and Steve Sarkisian's playbook.
Yeah.
Good point.
That's was doing that.
Very good point there, brother.
He handed that offense over to whatever playbook he wants to improvise or, slide in there, whatever he wants to do. I think he will. Well, I know he was. They were using plays from Lane Kiffin and Steve Sarkisian's playbook, and he was having to do the best he could with what he had. And look at all the injuries. You had to substitute a line running backs.
You're making me give Lane Kiffin some credit. Good God damn you.
God damn.
But
Damn.
when the offense is not blocking, when your quarterback hadn't got time, at least Lane Kiffin would do slant pattern, quick outs, running back
good.
backfield. It was all. It was be spread out short passes. I mean, damn, you maybe give him credit.
But you're right, Spencer.
What I was trying to say is, you got down to one over the top wide receiver. All we had was Jamison Williams. Whose fault is that? That's Nick Saban's fault.
Yeah.
I give you that one. You're correct.
Yeah, you're right.
And that knee ain't supposed to turn that way, man. That knee ain't supposed to do that.
When he got hurt, I told my cousin on the telephone right there, we got no other over-the-top wide receiver that can step in and be able to produce, and we don't have the – I mean, if that had been, if that had been Mac Jones would have hit him on the run, and he never would have had to stopped.
Right.
You're right.
Yeah. Even Tua would have hit him on the run. He had to stop.
Oh, I was going to talk about Tua in Miami, but y'all probably don't want to hear what I got to say about that.
Well, since you got a pretty good sized wood going on this one, Waylon, let me fill this one up. Let's go with O'Brien.
You're
1 yard away from touchdown. You got 3 tries, and you don't run the ball one fucking time? One? With the fullback with Brian Roberts? Seriously? You going to keep – sorry. I got issues with that. I really and truly do. You got to at least try it one damn time. You're on the 1 yard line.
He didn't have
to blame it on what you want to. You can blame it on Nick Saban, whatever. But if you don't call a running play on the 1 yard line, that's one person, offensive coordinator.
He didn't have no offensive line.
Nick Saban made it there, Waylon.
He'd have made his own whole 1 yard.
Can't run the ball.
Anyway,
can't run.
They're killing me. All right, real quick. All right. I'm going to make God, I could bite nails and shit. Anyway. Here we go. All right, here's my segment on this one. Had to read this script. Realignment. Here's my thoughts on realignment. And I'm going to go around the table here. Waylon, what do you think the final realignment's going to be in your lifetime?
I have no idea. Nobody can answer that question.
No? Okay. Rise up. What do you think it will be in your lifetime?
Yeah. I'm like, well, I don't know. There's too many teams to even try to begin to think of who will be where will be what. And
you agree? I agree.
I just know some people are going to suffer. That's all I know. Some people are going to suffer in this. So,
players are going to suffer, in my opinion.
Players are going to suffer. The schools are going to suffer.
Yeah, because they're going down this path is taken away from all the education part of it. Football is becoming – college football is a semi-pro league now. Seriously. The way they're going down this path, to me, they are mocking the NFL. They're wanting 2 super conferences. They're wanting an East and a West or a North and a South. That is what they're – to me, that's what they're wanting. And truth about the matter – that is the only way in hell that they could keep out 2 SEC teams playing for the championship. That's the only way possible. I mean, seriously, because any other way you break it down, even if they did with a 12-team playoffs, we would have 8 teams up there from the SEC playing for a championship. At least 4. At least 4 playing for it. And that would be bad on everybody.
Once again, you'll have another championship game with both teams will have a loss this year once again.
Right.
There will not be an undefeated championship college football game. They'll go in, both teams will have a loss, just like they did last year. Georgia, of course, Alabama beat them in the SEC championship. Texas A&M beat Georgia during the regular season. So there's both teams with a loss right there. Both teams.
AJ, if you would, you said you got an easier question. Throw it up here because I've got a lot on this one. So
now,
AJ's
first
She
question
said-
was, when is Jesus coming back? And she followed up with either a question is when is Jesus coming back? That's an easier
That's it.
question
That's
than
it.
Well, that was actually before that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Right.
right.
Well, who knows on that one either. Anyway.
Talk about
All right, for me. All right, here we go. Let's go for me. I know I only got 9 minutes here. So let me go with this on the expansion. They have their choice. And I know, believe me, I ain't stupid. I work in the industry, not that industry, but I work in an industry that you have to make money. It's either going to be a super conference, 2 teams, one way or the other. And the way the Big Ten just did it, they went from one coast to the upper East Coast. So they're going to have to be another realignment after they do the super conference, the way I'm seeing it. Because they're either going to have to go across the middle, north and south again. And we know we ain't doing that because that's politically incorrect. Or we're going to have to go east and west, which we know they can't do that because them damn Cowboys over there in the West is going to have a problem with it. So I don't know the answer to this one, but if the Pac-12 and the Big 12 joins forces, they will have enough money to at least be relevant to have their own. And if Notre Dame does go with ACC and they can pick up a couple more teams, they could be relevant. Not much money, but relevant. So that would leave at least 4 teams. So then, or 4, you know what I'm saying, 4 conferences. So then it'd be broke down to 4, but it won't last long because they're going to see the money that the SEC and whatever the Big Ten ends up being, the money they're making. And I'm sorry, you can't afford to keep sending your teams softball, gymnastics, basketball, football from East Coast to West Coast for every game back and forth and expect them to get an education. Sorry, you can't. So they're either going to have to give away, just forget we're doing this the best for our student athletes. We're looking out for their best interest because obviously they're not, because they're taking away from their education. And that's what pisses me off more than anything, because these young men and women, they have a life ahead of them. And we all know, all 4 of us here, anything can happen on any day. I could walk out this door today and trip over something, break my leg, and lose my job. So I got to buy insurance for it. We all know this. These kids are playing some physical sports and can lose it all. And they've got to bring this back together. They got to. They got to bring the kids' futures back in this instead of the individual pockets that are being filled. Because it's pissing me off. It's all about the money. I'm sorry, it is. It's about the money, and it's not about the student. And that's what's going to kill college football. I mean, granted, I enjoy the USFL. I watched it. Y'all know. I was on there with y'all texting back and forth, and that last 5 minutes of the game pissed me off. It's the worst coaching I ever seen in my life. But beside the point. Birmingham Stallions won the championship. That's that is the bottom line. But damn, you do that in college, you're taking away from their future. I mean, what do you think, Rise Up? I'm sorry, I'm losing it here. What you got?
I hear you, Spencer, but I don't see no turning around, man. I think the boat has been christened and it's out to sail, and it's the end of the world as we know it. That's the song said.
What do you think, William?
All right. I'm right along with you, folks. It's just a mess. The NIL, and it's just running football. NIL, transfer portal. I mean, you don't like what a coach does to you or made you do this or that. I'll just go up and leave. It's sad. This whole mess here. Yeah, it's
Waylon.
What did y'all see too on the podcast the other day when he was on the podcast? Wasn't he Tyreek Hill's podcast? Is that not right?
I missed that.
Yeah, he was on the podcast and he said he never run so much in his life in Alabama. He called his daddy and asked him, "Do you think USC would still give me a deal?" Because he was ready. He'd never run. He had never been running like that in practice. He was ready.
yeah.
Well, I take to tell him, Miami's got built that team around. This is his last year in the NFL. If he does not produce with the two best wide receivers, the fastest wide receiver in the NFL, with the best offensive line, and they got an offensive line at Miami, Tua is done.
I agree. I'll give you that one. And I love Tua, but I will give you that one.
He's done.
All right, gentlemen, we're going to have to bow out of here. Thank y'all so much. I've enjoyed this immensely. And just give everybody a heads up, my man Rise Up is going to be the lead man next Tuesday because I'm too damn ugly, and we need a good in him. My wife told me that. That ain't my decision. That was my wife's decision. She said, "You up in there. You too damn ugly." But I will still be here. I'm here, but he's going to be running the show. Yes.
Nick Saban said he's here, and he said, well, he's sorry he's late. So he still want that smoke.
Nick Saban, yeah.
I'm not seeing him. Where's he at?
He's in the chat. He's in the chats.
He said that earlier, yeah.
Where's he at?
He said, I'm sorry, Wayne, that I'm late, but I'm here. That's what he's telling him.
Where's your brother, Hockey and Dookie? Where y'all two at? Y'all in the back room cracking your goddamn mama? What y'all doing? Come on, y'all shut up. Now
Oh man!
All right, y'all. We gotta go. See y'all later, bro. I get in trouble.